How heavy do they lift? How far do they run? How often must they dig deep, fall, and try again to win? Tonight, this arena will light up and echo the victory of tobys. A dominant presence in Philippine sports retailing that has imbibed the athlete spirit to make it to this day. 30 years and as passionate as ever for sports. 30 years and running strong.
I started more by accident. I was an active JC member at that time, and I was in Zamboanga for that conference, and I was at the barter trade and I saw so many toys. So I picked up a few boxes and brought it to Manila and started the store. And also maybe because I had a newborn son at that time who was fond of toys. So somehow it kicked me off and started as a toy store. It was already named after Toby, and the name was Tobys Forms and Shape. And I've been saying before to my other friends that it had that name because I didn't know what form and shape it will take. The first store was opened at Vero Mall. It was the newest mall in the late 70s. So it was a hard struggle at the start. But fortunately, with the entry of the Mickey Mouse characters at the time, we were able to take advantage of the craze. And the first time being introduced here in the Philippines, it helped us in getting started as a toy store. After a year, and we saw that toys was a very seasonal item, and it was only towards the Christmas season that we were selling, we decided that maybe we were better off in a different category. And we saw one product, which was skateboards, and we decided maybe we were better off in sports. Toby was at that time about five years old, and he was already a skateboarder. We started looking at sports-related products or parlor games. We even had different kinds of board games. And when at that time I was joined by my brother Jojo, who was very active with the darts community. We brought in the darts, and I think that was our first attempt into the sports category. We decided to change the name because we wanted to show our focus and our expertise in the sports category. So we changed the name to Tobys Sports and Hobbies. It was an uphill climb for us because remember at that time there were other major sporting goods that were in the market. We were just simply a new entrant in the market. Most sporting goods were in Raon, and they were the general merchandise type of stores where you see sporting goods together with guitars, trophies, jeans, thermos, umbrellas. So we specifically made our store into a pro shop where only sports products were shown. And we decided on that every year we will be capable of opening one store a year. So after Cubao, we opened Harrison Plaza. Then the year after, we opened Makati. And then the year after would be the SM North EDSA.
Business then was very competitive, but there were very few players in the sports business. The major competitors then were American Sports Plaza, Myra's, and probably Evergreen. But as we all know now, they don't exist in the market anymore. I was more involved in the financial side. It was Bobby who was developing the marketing aspect of the business. At that time, we wanted to grow and grow the business as fast as we can. One of our limitations were our capital. So it was during this time that we approached a bank and we tried to borrow money, but unfortunately we were rejected. We initially thought of asking our parents if we could mortgage their house. We all thought that was not really a good idea. So the next option actually was to convince my dad to loan us personal loan. My dad then had very strict terms, and he even challenged us that in case we default on our payment, 4 of our siblings would not finish college. So that in itself was an extra challenge for us to fulfill our obligations.
Originally, SRI was conceptualized to become a trading division of tobys, solely responsible in product sourcing. This was actually way back in 1985, and we started out sourcing baseball caps at that time, and eventually that became a hit. And in 1985, we were able to get the distributorship of prints.
We wanted to fast-track the expansion, especially in the provinces. We opted to adopt the franchising system. At that time, Bobby was initiating the franchising concept. So we piloted Cagayan de Oro and Cebu as our first venture for a franchise stores. And we did get some interested parties to do a franchise for tobys. First store was in Cagayan de Oro. The second store was in Cebu.
tobys is constantly evolving and striving to improve even more. Just like an athlete, I suppose, that is looking for a next challenge, we're still finding ways that we can serve our customers better. And we're always moving. We're always trying to stay ahead of the pack by pushing ourselves harder. Well, we've always wanted a visit to tobys to be more than just a shopping trip, but rather a total sports experience. So we added interactivity in our stores so that people could really feel for themselves the rush that sports brings. And by giving them a taste of the fun, the excitement, and the action of sports, our hope was that more people would get into the action themselves. A few years ago, we put up something that has always been a dream for us. We wanted to create a store that housed as many brands, as much sports gear as we could put under one roof. So we put up the first tobys Arena outlet. The first arena was huge. We built it in the place where an old amusement center was, and we didn't want to just make it big, we wanted to make it exciting. So we put in a basketball shootout court, we put up a rock climbing wall, and we even had a full-size badminton court. What's great about it is it allowed us to do so many things that you never saw in a store before.
The first pro shop concept. Professional racket stringing service. Our website, tobys.com. Advanced point of sale inventory management system. Arena interactive stores. The tobys shootout basketball attraction. Advanced customer service product knowledge training programs on video. In-house brands. Our all-equipment store, Tobys Workout.
Our advocacy has always been to help develop sports among the youth. And on this, our 30th year, we are putting up the Tobys Youth Sports Foundation, which is really intended to help kids engage in sports, most especially the underprivileged youth. And for kids who may not have the chance to play, we want to make sure that we provide opportunities for every kid so that hopefully no kid gets left behind. I take pride not only on having my name on the sign, but more so for what that name has meant to millions of sports lovers in the Philippines. Thanks to the efforts of the whole team that has made tobys what it is today, starting with my dad and my uncles.
Well, I'm proud of the fact that over the past 30 years, I think we've been able to build a brand that is now synonymous with sports. But most of all, I'm very proud that we've developed an organization that is still dynamic and driven to improve on what we've already accomplished. I guess it was business with pleasure in its real sense. And what was more interesting really was getting to try out the new sports equipment and do business at the same time.
I feel I can still look forward to another 22 years down the road if I just make sure that my staff are very happy.
We want to continue to find ways to be better, to grow and to expand to other retail formats that can really identify with our customers' lifestyles. Of course, our ultimate goal is to someday expand our reach, maybe to other markets in Asia, or perhaps even make tobys a global brand.
I never expected that such a small store, started with a 19 square meter store in Vera Mall, turned out to be a 42 store chain now on our 30th year. I think the Filipino sports market has also matured, and we are there to fulfill their needs.
We've been there with you in every game, on every court, in every moment, because we know your passion. Tobys Sports, celebrating 30 years.